Because today's show is brought to you by Manscaped, the leaders in below the waistline grooming, baby. And we know not only is, St. Patrick's Day coming up and we trying to get lucky out there, but we also know March Madness is upon us as well, okay? So we don't want our balls bouncing around here all haphazardly looking crazy. Nah. We got to make sure that we grooming them things, keeping it low and slow and make it look nice and neat, okay? And the best way to do that is with the Lawnmower 4.0. As Deke and I've already told you, I never leave home without it, because you never know. You never know. But more importantly, what you need to do is this, man. Use the promo code MOATS so that way you can get you 20% off along with free shipping worldwide at manscaped.com, baby. And trust me when I tell you, your delicate twins will definitely thank you, my friend. We did have two in-house free agents get re-signed for the Pittsburgh Steelers in terms of Arthur Maulet, my namesake. You know I was going to drop an Arthur M today. And Miles Killebrew being brought back. Both of those guys on 2-year deals. We know for Miles Killebrew, he's a 2-year, $4 million contract, pays him $2 million per. And with Arthur Maulet, we don't know the details of his deal just yet, but it's probably going to be in that same capacity as Miles Killebrew. But for me, man, I like both of these signings. I think both of those players help you. With Miles Killebrew, we saw last year he had 2 impact plays on special teams that, number one, won us a game in terms of what he did in Buffalo, and number 2, flipped the momentum and brought us back into a game in terms of what he did versus the Chargers. So I definitely like him a lot. I think that, what he's been able to do since joining the team, he's definitely been a super productive special teams player, and he's a consistent guy. So I'm all for that. And that price point at $2 million, to me, is great value for when you're looking at special teams aces, right, or your special teams studs, and seeing the market for them. You look at what Derek Watt is getting paid. You look at what Tyler Matakavich got paid to go to Buffalo, and then you compare what Miles is getting right here. Man, I definitely like that price point for him. And with Arthur Maulet, I thought that he came in and provided us with some toughness, man, some physicality in the run game, especially from that nickel position. We saw him blitz at a high level. We saw him, like I said, just be physical in terms of attacking. Now, could he continue to grow and get better? Absolutely. But at the same time, he's a player that you want on your roster. He is a player that, when used in a mix with other DBs, like we saw him at times last year, we had the full gamut of guys. He can help you win. He's a productive player in that sense. So I did like, him coming back. And like I said, I do feel like this contract is going to be another cheaper level deal, very similar to what Miles Killebrew received. I just think that that's a good quality player that you want to keep on your roster, man.
Yeah, I think these moves are fine. They don't make anyone go crazy, but these are dudes that help you win games in the NFL. Miles Killebrew, literally, I don't think we win that Bills game without that block punt. That was a huge momentum shifter, and we go up. And then Chargers game, exactly. That was a big part of that comeback effort. So if he is, you think he already is like that special teams ace then? Just based off last year, even what he's done throughout his career with the Lions, would you consider him that?
I feel like he personally is. I know Derek Watt is by name and by pay, but to me,
Killebrew has so much more productivity.
Yeah, I feel like Killebrew to me is that special teams ace, which makes it kind of weird when we talk about him at $2 million for his price point versus, what we've given to Derek Watt in his current price point. But yeah, as a whole, I do think that Miles is our best special teams player right now and not talking, Boz, because we know what Boz is. We're not talking about like that. I'm just talking about like in terms of cover guys. I do think that Miles is one of our best guys that we have as a core 4 special teams guy. What I mean by core 4 is kickoff return, punt, and punt return. Miles is a guy that continues to make plays for this team, and he's produced splash plays multiple times last season, which is not easy to do on special teams, man.
No, so I was for that. $2 million seems like a really good value, and he's fairly. I think he's what 27, 28.
Yeah, he's 28. I think he is. Yes, he's still
like
young, man.
It's not like he's low 30s.
Whoa! Listen, what we trying to say? Is somebody up here that's 30?
You're still low 30s, right?
Oh, okay. I consider myself young 30s. I started to say, shout out to the kid, but I didn't want people to get confused. Think I was talking about Garnett since he just got his jersey retired. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, I'm talking that big 34 over here. You feel me? But yeah, man, so it's all good. It's all good.
And Arthur Maulet, yeah, I thought he played good last year. You saw some of the physicality that you mentioned in the run game. outside of the Bears game, I don't remember him getting burnt or talking
Right.
about him in a negative
I would
way.
agree.
So I'm
Yep.
good with this signing too. We might be losing some depth at cornerback with Joe Hayden leaving. I know
Mm,
they don't play the same position. Maulet's more slot corner.
right.
Hayden's more on the outside, but this only helps. Like this
Yeah.
isn't gonna hurt us at all.
Yeah.
And I think he's a good depth guy. Like one game you might need him for like 50% of the snaps. Another
Hmm.
game he might not play at all.
Right.
But he's for the most part performed when his number was called last year. So I'm
Absolutely,
I'm
man.
completely fine with it. And on a cheap deal.
Absolutely.
Assumedly.
Yeah. Like I said, man, if the deal is more than Killebrew's deal, I would be shocked. But as a whole, man, this is a low risk move, low, in terms of the cost, but you're getting a player that you can win with, a guy that's going to help you in some capacity versus whoever. You know what I mean? Like you said, in certain games he's going to play a lot more than others, but whenever his number has been called, he has been able to come out there and play at a sufficient level for us, man.